What is up, guys? Welcome back into the channel. If you are new, thank you for stopping in today. As you can tell, we are up in the big shop yet again. Today we're actually going to be doing spark plugs and new wires on the 98 along with a fuel filter. This is a micro guard. So about a week ago I was driving to town and it just started spitting and sputtering. Not sure really why. I talked to a shop and they thought maybe the converter in the tranny was locking up. Took it to one of the local transmission shops. Hooked the scanner and stuff up to it, drove it around. He said everything looks like it's shifting fine, locking into place when it needs to be. So he said maybe it was my throttle body position sensor, which is right here. So I replaced it. Come to find out, driving to town, it was still doing it. So I don't know if maybe the spark plugs need to be changed. I'm not sure. So I'm guessing it's more fuel related. It's what it seems to be. So like I said, it might be spark plugs. Maybe one just fouled and it's just kind of causing an issue. Or maybe that fuel filter is plugged and it's just not getting enough fuel. But we're going to go ahead and start replacing some of this stuff. The fuel filter on these trucks aren't very hard to change. Let me open this up real quick. Maybe. So like I said, this is just a micro guard. It's like the factory one that's on there. So when you're looking at it, you're going to have the flow in and flow out. I'm not 100% sure which way this one goes. I'm guessing it's like this because when you're underneath the truck, it sits like right in this location. And I think when the filter goes on there, it's like this. So you'd have it flowing this way from the tank side up to motor side, if that makes sense. But I'm pretty sure it sits like right underneath here. I know the regular cabs, it's like right underneath the door, but I think on the extended cabs, it's on like the third door or the extended cab part. But we're gonna go ahead and get this changed out. I'm pretty sure it's just a 13/16. We'll put here and then grab a wrench for the fuel line that goes in and then break them loose. A lot of guys will pull the fuel pump relay out that sits right here and then try and crank it so some of the fuel will run out. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump right in and get this started. There's tons of videos out there on how to change these filters if you guys don't know how. But like I said, it's pretty much just right in that location. A 13/16 wrench and another one, you can break it free and then get it swapped out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll bring you guys back here in a minute. Quick update for you guys. So the fuel filter, I'm guessing it's the factory one. It's definitely frozen on there. So I sprayed some Blaster, gonna let it sit, spray a little more, let it sit. So we moved on to the spark plugs. Passenger side is about finished up. I do have new wires. I'll probably do those also. But I have the back one, or the rear one left. So here, hopefully you guys can see this decent over here in the light. So here is the one I pulled. I mean, you can tell it's starting to get burnt. Hopefully it'll focus on the end there. Let's try this. Maybe. But no, it's starting to get burnt there on the end. The threads are extremely dirty. I don't even know how many miles these have on them. I had the motor rebuilt probably 3 years ago, give or take 2.5, 3 years ago. And I know I changed them one time, but I can't remember if that was before the rebuild or after the rebuild. But here is the new one. These are AC Delco. You can see just the difference here. New versus old. Like I said, you can tell how dirty the threads and stuff are. Camera's probably not gonna focus on there, but you can just tell these ones are so much cleaner. Not too bad to get them in there. I do have headers on this truck. They're not the exact or the stock manifolds anymore. So trying to work around it's kind of a pain in the butt. And then I do have header wrap on there. So I'm kind of getting some like fiberglass. You can tell my arm's kind of irritated there. But that's why I put the gloves on so my hands don't get all scratchy and stuff from it. But I have this side to do. I got the first one on the driver's side done. Right in there, but the driver's side's a little bit more time consuming because I have like the steering shaft and all that to mess with. So I decided I'd go over on this side. Passenger side, I just have a few hoses, like AC hoses I can move. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this one thrown in there, move back over to that side, grab the new wires. We'll hopefully get all those ran. And yeah, so that's an update. Like I said, fuel filter's pretty much frozen, so I'm gonna just keep spraying blaster on it and hopefully get it worked loose. But other than that, I'll pick you guys up here shortly. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick update here. I had a real stubborn spark plug to get to. It was actually this one here. And what I mean by stubborn is the headers I have, so obviously it being a V8, you have 4 cylinders on each side, then you have 4 ports on each side. Well, this number 3 spark plug right down here where my finger is basically where port number 1, port number 2, and port number 3 all come together. So I mean, it was real tight. I couldn't even get the socket in there. I mean, you're talking maybe you could fit, I could probably squeeze my pinky in between the header port or the header tubing and the actual spark plug itself. So what I'm talking about is, say the spark plug's in the block, here's the header port, and I couldn't even get the socket on there. So what I did is I had this old one and I just notched it out. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I just cut one of the sidewalls out of it. And that allowed me to, I'm gonna try and hold the camera here with my arm. So when it was in that tight spot, I'll just set it down here now. So when it was in that tight spot in the block, I was able to slip that socket over like that and was actually able to slide it up in there. In a normal socket, obviously that wall's all closed up like this, and you have to try and like work it in there. Well, with me cutting that out, I was able to basically, like I said, if we're looking at it like this, just slip it down and slide it forward. And then I just took a 3/4 inch wrench, hooked it here on the actual socket, and broke it free. So I thought it was kind of cool, just creative. You guys just kind of think outside the box there. I was kind of stumped, didn't really know how I was going to get it out. I tried to use pliers, and I was like, this ain't working. So I needed to come up with a better idea. I think they actually make sockets like these, but I was like, I know I have a junk one here. And by what I mean by junk is the rubber on the inside. It's kind of messed up. So I fixed it, cut it out, and all I did was took the disc grinder wheel and cut that, and then cut it, and then cut it across. Worked out really well, so I'm definitely gonna be keeping that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the new one tossed in and then get to the 4th one, and then we should be set. All the plugs and wires are changed, guys. Got everything buttoned back up. Zip tied everything together to make sure it's all nice and clean looking. We're gonna try and get down to that fuel filter now and get it broke loose, so we'll see what happens. So guys, the fuel filter on this thing is definitely a lost cause. I cannot get it broke free. I have tried everything. I'm just gonna crawl underneath here and show you guys how bad and rusty this thing is. Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, it is gross. Like, look how sprayed blaster on there 3 times. Hopefully that would break it free. Nothing. I tried everything. So I guess it's just gonna go to a mechanic that can actually spend time on and get it broke free, because it's a pain in the butt and I can't get it, and I don't want to twist one of these lines, the fuel lines here, because then we'll be in a bigger, we'll have a bigger problem. So I'm just going to take it somewhere and they can deal with it. So that being said, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Not much really going on, just kind of want to get a tune up and stuff on the truck here. So at least we got the spark plugs and wires done. I guess we can mark that off the list. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and back it out, and hopefully everyone has a great Thanksgiving. I want to thank you for stopping in today. Remember, learning as I do, doing what I love. Smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know every time we upload. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.